Doomlink and welcome back to the Dark Souls livestream series. We are here today in not only a new build, but on a different console. Ideally we wouldn't be on a console at all, we'd be on PC. But I don't really need to go into why I'm not recording on PC. Again, I don't need to update you every single recording, or at least at the start of every single build. I don't find that to be necessary. Hello Arexian, yes I did see your message that came like 10 minutes before I went live. You seem to be quite eager to be first in. But, yeah, basically this is the first time I've ever gone live on an Xbox 360, which may or may not be important? What was the word that I was looking for there? It may or may not be of any interest to you, and it may or may not be of any importance. But the point is that I haven't really played on an Xbox since a few years before I even started live streaming. Keeping in mind that I've been making videos for like 12 years, and then it's only been... Oh, sorry, that's my whiskey bottle colliding with my gin bottle. These two had a fight, and then this one won. In other words, this one was going to be my beverage for today. The fight involved me more than it involved them, as you can imagine. But, yeah, what was I saying? That's right, I've been live streaming for only 2 years out of the 12 that I've been recording for, so yeah, I just haven't happened to play on an Xbox 360 while live before. So here I am, and we are indeed going to be playing Dark Souls, as you can imagine, and your guess is as good as mine as far as whether or not this is going to perform worse than the PS3 version. It's worth mentioning that I haven't even launched this before on this profile. Oh, that's always lovely. I don't know if you got to see that. That's such an Xbox 360 thing. You know, actual graphical errors coming up on the screen. That's lovely, isn't it? It's exactly what I look for in my Xbox experience. I've got no idea what to expect with game volume. I will keep an eye on it either way. I would assume that this is a 200GB hard drive, which is like nothing. But, you know, this isn't modern gaming anymore. This is an Xbox 360. There are 2 Xboxes beyond theirs. Well, 2 generations of Xbox, I should say. Not literally 2, more like 10. I don't know how many, but there are a few. In fact, this isn't even the newest Xbox 360 that existed, the one that I have. I have the Slim. There was like a... it might have also been called the Slim, but it was a little different, you know, it had a much smaller Xbox button. I remember seeing it in stores and going, why is there a new Slim? You know, there was one for the PlayStation 3 as well. There was, instead of having an ejecting disc system, it was instead this sliding door system for your discs, which admittedly would be better for longevity for the reason that that's one less thing to fail when it comes to your console over the long run, over a long period of time. That's one thing that I'm kind of worried about with my PlayStation 3. I'm worried about that, like the motor just dying for the disc ejector. It's sounding pretty tired compared to some years ago. I suppose it was maybe about a year or 2 ago that it started really sounding kind of tired, so I'm worried that it's just going to die. And obviously when it dies, what is there to say other than I can't really insert or eject discs anymore? I mean, I can... No, it feeds it in, that's right, so yeah, you wouldn't be able to insert it either, which would suck. Excuse the throat, I don't mean to clear it, but it's mucusy. Thanks for letting us know, Doomlink. Now, the reason why I'm not in Xbox Live right now is because Microsoft are a bunch of monkeys, okay? They are a bunch of monkeys. And because I changed my Microsoft account information outside of Xbox and tried to log into an old profile that used the same Microsoft account, but the account had since changed in terms of what the name of the account was, in terms of what the email of it was, Microsoft, oh thank you Microsoft, decided that my Xbox was not secure. My Xbox is not secure. So, as a result, I couldn't sign into that account. And I don't want to go through all the hoo-ha of trying to set up my current profile or account or whatever it is with Xbox Live. What's incredibly confusing is that you have an Xbox profile and then you have an Xbox account. There seem to be 3 different things: profile, Xbox Live, and Microsoft account. And I think the latter two are linked. And I don't understand it. All I can tell you is that Microsoft are a bunch of fucking monkeys and wouldn't be able to design something properly if you gave them a step-by-step tutorial on how to make something, intuitive and sensible and, all of the above, basically. All of the possible words that one could describe a process that should be used universally by everyone who owns an Xbox. It kind of needs to be well-designed. Clearly not well-designed. But that's Microsoft. Tell that to the people who have the most ubiquitous operating system in the world, who seem to deem it to be perfectly fine to come out with actual shit iterations of it. Shit iterations. So, yeah, I think Microsoft are pretty comfortable with coming out with unintuitive designs. Okay, so in terms of game volume, we're going to stay with this for now. And we'll see how it takes us, or how we fare with this volume. I'm going to take the brightness to maximum. This is just first time settings that I'm going through here, first time launch. This is all fine, I'll keep that as is. And yeah, I always go with max in-game brightness for the reason that I want you guys to be able to see what the fuck is going on, particularly when it's dark. If it's light, it's fine, but if I'm in like a dark area like the catacombs or something like that, or Dark Anor or whatever, I want you guys to be able to see what the hell's going on, so that's basically what I am doing. How do you get more healing in Dark Souls? I have 5 healing. Now, haven't you been playing Dark Souls for a while now? Like, a month at least? Why does this question come to me so long after you got Dark Souls? Instead of just... Why didn't you instead just Google it? I mean, it's not hard. How do I get more Estus flasks? Like, you'll find out just like that. But anyway. You say no, but you have had the game for a long time. I suppose you just haven't played it. Which is a shame. It's a very good game, and you should start playing it properly now, instead of playing Generations Ultimate all day, every day. That's just a little recommendation. Okay. So let's go and enter a character name. What will it be? This is going to be a Dexterity build. I just randomly thought about it yesterday. I thought, what kind of build would I feel like doing for my first time playing on Xbox in years? The answer was a Dexterity build, because I don't want to have a slow-moving build. I have no interest in that whatsoever. It's going to be really awkward and uncomfortable to use this controller while playing Dark Souls. It's not going to feel right at all. Yes, I have used this controller in the past to play Dark Souls, but generally speaking, I'm not used to it at all. Not just because it's been a while, but because the amount of time that I've spent playing on this controller versus a controller with a PlayStation layout, well, I've barely used this by comparison, so yeah, it would be a comparison of like 80 hours to maybe over, well, definitely over 1,500 by now, more like 2,000. I was saying that I had played 1,500 hours of Dark Souls like 5 years ago. I think I've probably played at least 500 hours since then. I would hope so. In fact, I would definitely say so. Okay, so what am I going to make the name? Suppose I could do the... Oh, here's a funny story. I'm just going to name the character Ava. It's going to be a female character. My online handle is Ava Draculestium, and I was going to put in... I was going through Xbox Live, right? You know why I didn't want to go through the hoo-ha of setting up Xbox Live? Let me give you an example of why I decided not to do this. You know, when there's a certain step to a process that is just... and it just doesn't work, and it's so fucking stupid that it doesn't work that you just decide, no, I'm not doing this at all. Like, you just give up altogether. Well, step 1 of setting up Xbox Live on this profile required that I input my first name. I wasn't going to use my actual first name because that's not really how I do characters and profiles and stuff on a console. You know how people have their Miis and in Nintendo, and they have their avatars on Xbox Live and all that business. I don't have it reflect my actual person. I have it reflect, you know, a character in my mind, an arbitrary character in my mind. And I went to input Ava, EVA. And it's not an accepted name. I couldn't put the name Ava. Like, that is a reasonably common female name, and I was not permitted to use that name on Xbox Live. And I tried like 3 times just in case the server shat itself, and I was like, no, actually they are preventing me from inputting a regularly, or a relatively typical female name in this name section. So I basically said to myself, well, Microsoft, I've got better things to do with my life than deal with your shit right now. So that's basically what was going on there. Now, I used a thief as my class for my previous build, which was, of course, it was predominantly a parrying build and backstab build. I suppose I ended up calling it a critical build. It was like a critical rapier build, or whatever the fuck I called it. I think I might have just ended up calling it a rapier build, because that was the one thing that was consistent. It was the fact that I was always going to have those 2 rapiers, one in the left, one in the right hand. So that's what was happening there. Well, Juvenator, you said to me that you like hard games, so if you stopped playing Dark Souls so soon that you don't even know how to expand the number of Estus flasks that you have, then I don't know, man. I mean, Dark Souls isn't that hard, you have to understand. It's just something that needs to be learned. I would say that, I mean, I don't think that Dark Souls is all that more punishing than traditional Monster Hunter. That's why I always felt that the Souls series would be something that most Monster Hunter players can enjoy, and time has proven that to be the case, I find. And when I say time, I mean in the sense that the Souls series and the Monster Hunter series has become more popular over the last 10 years, so a theory that I had quite some time ago has been basically proven to be the case, as I've continued to watch the gaming community and the sort of things that they enjoy. But yeah, I find them to be rather similar, because there is an established system, a very clearly established system, and if you don't know what you're doing in it, you're going to have a real fucking problem. You're going to die, you're going to fail, you're going to not enjoy yourself. To enjoy yourself, you must commit to learning, and that's not something that everyone's happy with doing. Really, the Soul series was the one exception to the rule where a game could be crushingly, I guess, unaccommodating to a new player and still garner a lot of interest from the mainstream community. I can't believe that it got as widespread or as highly celebrated as it became in the end. Kind of surprises me. I mean, the quality of it doesn't lead me to wonder why it's so well appreciated, but as far as, like, so many people wanting to play it and try it out, it surpassed whatever I would have expected. But you know what, I think a lot of people have tried it, but haven't really played it properly. I think most people have tried it and then they just get destroyed and then they give up. You know, I think that's the experience of most people who play Dark Souls, which is strange, but I think that seems to be it. Alrighty. I apologise for the fact that it's taken me so damn long to get through this character creation sequence. It's just, my name's Doomlink and I like to crap on about stuff. We'll equip the Master Key, average build is fine. As I have explained in the past, I generally don't, you know what? I do want some hair, at least. How about that? You know what, that's fine. Probably just change the skin tone a bit. She's a bit too pale. And, I don't even know where I can find that. I think it's like hormones or something that dictate skin color. If I'm more masculine, my skin color is darker, apparently. According to From Software, that's how that works. And then, of course, the more feminine you are, the more you start to turn blue. I've never fucking understood that. What's wrong with bald females? Not my preference. I mean, if you... Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Well, that face is just gonna have to be... Oh, there it is, maturity. So, check this out. What the fuck is going on? Stop this business! You know why I keep on selecting the wrong fucking thing? It's because of this godforsaken D-pad. Now, I have to tell you guys, it's been a long time since I've ranted about this thing. Because it's been a long time since I've played on an Xbox, but I'll tell you what. Whichever fucking muppet decided, oh yeah, this is a great D-pad design, yeah. It's real simple, it's just one big thing. You know what it is? It's probably cheaper to manufacture this single piece than 4 individual buttons. I mean, it's Microsoft. I would not doubt for one moment that that is the reason why this exists. This fucking D-pad being a single button that you rock around the place. Its accuracy is horrendous. And, you know, I'm sure it's something that you get used to over time. And I think it is something that you get used to over time because I'm suffering at the hands of this to a degree that I certainly wasn't in the past when I was used to playing on an Xbox 360 controller. But let me tell you that there is no reason why a D-pad has to be so fucking bad on a controller. There is just no reason. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just, it's insulting. Alright, so... But, you know, I have no choice but to use it. I can't use my right analog stick for this. Ideally, when I would otherwise use a D-pad, in the case of an Xbox 360 controller, I would use an analog stick, but I can't in this case. You know, for instance, if I've got the on-screen keyboard, I will use the left analog stick, but no, can't do that today. Can't do that. Anyway. Again, it is something that you get used to, I suppose, but... Why does it have to be this way? God, I hate you, Microsoft. Bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, so this is fine. This is, you know what, this is all fine. She's going to be Eastern, that's great, Far Eastern, whatever. Go back, yeah, that's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. Okay. So, what I was trying to say before I got sidetracked by whatever I was talking about before, the previous build that I did was a Thief. This one's going to be a Wanderer. Both Thief and Wanderer are perfectly appropriate for Dexterity builds, but I guess I'll be going Wanderer because I went Thief last time. And I'm sure some people would say, if you want the real Dexterity experience, you go Thief. Well, I suppose so, because that's extreme Dexterity, you know. But Wanderer is perfectly fine. Oh god, look at the frame rate on that fucking loading bonfire. It's like 10 FPS on that bonfire load. Again, I've got no idea how this is going to perform. My Xbox 360 has been off for like 4 years, okay? So,
yes,
we're gonna find out how well it runs. Yeah, fuck off. Alright. Also, hello everyone who has turned up. God, this feels wrong. It already feels wrong. Now I'm pressing circle or B. Oh, yeah, that already feels awful. I'm used to the flat buttons on the PlayStation controller. These buttons are rounded, which it feels wrong. It's like I'm playing with marbles stuck onto my fucking controller. That's what it feels like. It's just, it's odd. What's wrong with Microsoft? These people need a smack across the back of the fucking head. Well, they needed it a long time ago. It's probably too fucking late now. But anyway. There you go. Yeah, and Kindle. The game's probably a little too loud, so I just dropped it back. Gonna watch it. Yeah, that should be a good volume right there. Now, it's worth mentioning that the console experience for Dark Souls has always been... let me rephrase that. It has been normal, it has always been normal in the console experience of Dark Souls to have the game really, really stutter when you rest at a bonfire. In the PC version, no. No, why would that happen? But yeah, as I said, I've got no idea if this is going to perform better than the PlayStation 3 version. My guess is probably not. It might be slightly better, but it's probably still gonna suck. Yeah, I can see that it still kind of sucks. I think it's slightly better though. Just slightly. The difference wouldn't be between the versions, the difference would be the two physical consoles that I play on. Technically, my Xbox 360 is newer by 2 years than my PlayStation 3. I like to backstab you just for fun. Not with the expectation that any damage will be dealt to you, but just for fun. If you do that though, as you'll see, he goes straight into an attacking animation. If you don't, well, you know, whatever that constitutes. In this case, it was his bow attacking. But if you leave him alone, he'll run all the way in there, and then you don't have to worry about being interrupted. I just do that because it's fun, I guess. Old habits die hard. It's just the way I'm playing at the moment. I'll also try to demonstrate a glitch that I talked about previously that appears in the Xbox 360 version. It's not like a major glitch or anything like that, but... Oh, for the love of God! I swear to... I was not in an inappropriate position there, but I guess I was, wasn't I? Yes.
Well, now you know. And I can die with...
Don't make fun of Microsoft. They have the best game series in the world. Halo. Yeah.
Take this.
I suppose so.
An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
I'd better eat my fucking words.
Oh, and this. Now
Yeah. So that auto-equips, as you can tell. You know what's fucking awful about this? I am forced to use this god-awful D-pad whenever I interact with this screen. Oh my god. Can you hear it clacking away? Like, what the fuck is that? It sounds cheap because it is cheap. Unbelievable. Also, feels super wrong. You know what it is? It's these rounded buttons. You've got these marble-feeling fucking XABY. I don't know what the... Yeah, XABY, I think. Or is it YB? I don't know the order in which people say the buttons, but the point is, you know, those buttons are very rounded. Right bumper and left bumper are rounded as opposed to flat. Like the L1 and... See that? I didn't even intend to do that. But that's what I was talking about when I said the glitch. That just happens in the Xbox 360 version. And there's just weird shit that goes on in the Xbox 360 version that you don't see in the PC or PS3 version. So, or versions, because I was referring to two things. That means it will be in plural form, Doomling, thank you. Yeah, I had a feeling that I'd be able to make it there. I'm surprised that you can actually survive. Well, no, I understand. It's because the strong attack is in 2 parts. So therefore, all of the damage is not dealt with that final attack there. Alright. So I'm noticing that the game is performing about as bad as the PlayStation 3 version. In case I needed to be assured of that fact. And I kind of did need to be assured of it, but yeah, it's obviously about the same. And that could be because my console's about as fucked as my PlayStation was. Vernon apparently killed the guy whose name has escaped me, apparently. I forgot about it last time too. But basically, look at this. Look at these cinematic frames right now. I can only apologize, really. I pressed the button, but too late, clearly. It was pressed too late. Come on. There's a follow-up there. If you can even see what's going on with this fucking frame rate. Anyway. This feels so wrong playing on this controller, I have to tell you. It feels completely wrong. But yeah, I don't know why you would kill that guy, Vernon. I told you not to. But I guess you just couldn't help yourself, could you? You've got some sort of compulsion to harm NPCs in video games, particularly Souls games. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is that I was going to record on the Xbox 360 for the previous build as well, but I wasn't able to for the reason that my controller had messed up. Not the controller itself, but in fact the battery pack that sits in the back. Because I had left batteries in there for probably 3 or 4 years, I think one of them started to leak just slightly, just enough to fuck up the battery pack. Fortunately, that didn't extend into the space outside the insertable pack itself. So the controller still works just fine. I knew immediately that the problem was with the battery pack itself. So what I did was, I went and checked online to see what my options were for getting a new battery pack for an Xbox 360 controller, because I didn't want to buy like a whole new controller. This controller is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it except for that battery pack that I was just mentioning. And I found out that actually, if you're smart, you will get a rechargeable battery pack, which is what I have. This is a 4,800 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. It has a light. There's like a light there that you can't really see. And, well, basically, you could see that there were 2 holes in the back of the battery pack. One is to plug in a charger that charges through a USB port. And, yeah, the other one is a light to indicate the charge level. And, yeah, I feel sorry for any person who played a lot of Xbox and has spent, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on batteries. Because you didn't need to. You just didn't fucking need to. I would guarantee that these things existed in the past. Maybe not when the Xbox first came out, but, you know, when the Xbox 360 first came out, I'm pretty sure it was wired controllers only. But whenever they came out with the fucking wireless ones, I would guarantee that after a few years, you were probably able to get these rechargeable battery packs. Not in stores, obviously, because that would be, I don't know. Well, it wouldn't affect Microsoft, so who was it affecting? The battery manufacturers? Did Microsoft do a deal with the battery manufacturers in the US? I don't know, man. What's going to be different in this run? It's a good question to ask, Beans, because they are both dexterity builds in the end. So it's a relevant question. The difference here is that I'll be using rather different weapons. Rather than weapons that work well for critical damage, I'll be using weapons that just scale well with dexterity. There are going to be a few things that will be different in this run. The first thing that I'll do is make my way to New Londo Ruins. Actually, what I'll do that a little bit later. First and foremost, I'm going to make my way to the Valley of Drakes. I will acquire a Soul of a Proud Knight, as well as the Dragon Crest Shield, because this starting shield's not all that great. This is just a standard leather shield, doesn't have 100% physical block, and obviously all the other stats suck as well, and bad stability. So, therefore, I'll just go and get a better shield at the start of the game. Oftentimes this is something that you have to kill yourself to acquire, but if you can time the roll properly, you won't have to die. There is a roll that takes place up here, or a roll that one should attempt at least, and it's, yeah, kind of difficult to get right. I used to be pretty good at it, but I've lost the skill now. Part of the issue is that it's so much easier to evade things when you've got a higher frame rate game, and I've become quite used to 60 FPS Dark Souls now. Like, really used to it. Going back to 30 FPS just... yeah, it's kind of hard for accurate evasion. So let's try it out. There you go. The idea is to roll just a little bit earlier than it looks like you should, because that hand actually comes for you really quickly. So you actually put yourself at risk more by watching for the right moment to roll. Instead, you just sort of press the button a little bit sooner than it looks like you should, and then you'll be fine. So that's the roll that I was talking about. And that saves me time, because actually I should have gotten those homeward bones before doing this. Whatever. There are some homeward bones that would have been good to have for this moment, but I'm forgetting the order in which I usually do these things. I wanted to destroy that without harming this guy, not because I didn't want to be attacked by him, but because he's a personal friend of mine. I haven't introduced you to him before, but he's not the most social. So it would be best that I don't introduce you. I'm only doing this for fun. I don't actually need to slowly walk across. You can see that the performance of this area is all kinds of bad. In fact, to call it bad would be the ultimate understatement. Anyway, I'm going to be able to deal more damage to these ghosts this time as compared to last time I came here at the start of a game, or at the start of a run. Because last time I was using a dagger, just a standard unupgraded dagger. Look at the range. Oh, I'm about to be attacked by that other ghost. This is not good. I can deal with these guys, I just have to be smart about it. Everything is made a whole lot harder, though, when you've got bad FPS. Alright, if I can mash you both, that'd be awesome. In the case of these ghosts, their range is very much a problematic thing. I'm trying to see, now that is not how I wanted that to play out. I'm actually stuck on stuff. Basically what was happening right there is that I was stuck on something, and as well as that I was trying not to accidentally fall off the fucking edge. Now, what I was going to say was that I intended to flinch both of those enemies at that time, but I only flinched one, so consequently I was attacked by the one that was not flinched, in other words, the one that was not stuck in place, unable to attack. Because he was able to attack. Yeah, the performance of this is about the same. About the fucking same. This is really depressing. So, whatever. Another 2 transient curses. The reason why I'm doing this, by the way, is so that I can acquire a Firekeeper soul at the start of the game. Come on. It's very dangerous to... I shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, it's very dangerous to start attacking the enemy aggressively when it first appears, for the reason that you are facing a drop-off, basically. Now, running attacks are probably the smartest way to do this. The reason why I'm being so cautious is not just because they deal a lot of damage to me, but because their range is quite crazy. Their range makes this a much harder confrontation than your standard. So therefore, I am... See, look at that. I thought I'd save myself a little bit of time, and as a result, I messed up. See, because they have so much range, they can start attacking much sooner because they know they can hit you. Right, alright. How the fuck are you not dead? Like, are you actually joking? The good thing about the running attack also is that I can start the animation further away from them, and by the time I'm in range, I'm already hitting them. I don't have to wait until... Oh, no, he's gonna get me. Oh! If he got me there, I would have been in serious shit. Don't you dare grab me. But yeah, if I get grabbed by them, the amount of damage they're going to be able to deal to me at the start of the game is going to be real bad. And we don't want that. So, can you stop surviving with barely any health left? That would be great. Okay. Yeah, wait till I get to Blighttown. I can't fucking wait, man. Cannot fucking wait. Okay. Now I will be checking to make sure everything's fine with the video. Yep. We seem to be under control at the moment. In terms of game volume, I think we are good. Everything seems to be fine. The only thing that's not quite fine is the frame rate of the game that I'm playing, but that is outside of my realm of influence. Alright. So again, normally what I would do here is Homeward Bone out, just to save time, but I can't, because I don't have Homeward Bones. Normally I would gather them before coming here, but as I said, I forgot to do that. Okay. I don't know if I ended up sending the elevator back up. I tend to do that out of habit without even consciously thinking to do it. Ideally, I wouldn't have done it this time. But, yeah, we'll see. If I didn't do it this time, it means that I subconsciously realized that I would probably be better off not sending it up. But it is very important that you watch to see if the elevator is there before approaching the place where the elevator should be. Because if it's not there, you will walk straight down a hole and die. And it's an annoying way to die, in case you were not aware of that. In case you needed me to outline that for you, yes. Out of sheer force of habit, I did send the elevator back up. Thank you, Sunburst Chrome. With any luck, I will one day be able to do that as a career. But that's not quite an easy thing to get into. But one day, yes. Ideally, I will be able to do that. It's something that interests me. Alrighty. So what we can do is make our way to the Firekeeper and give her the Firekeeper soul that we just acquired. Normally your first Firekeeper soul is the one in the Undead Parish, but this is one that you can acquire from the beginning, provided you put yourself in harm's way at least a little bit. It's much easier to do that if you are running a Pyromancer build, for instance, because as a Pyromancer you do a lot of damage in the early game, a lot more than your standard build. And I suppose maybe a magic build would be good too, but I would say Pyromancer in particular makes that a very easy process. But you can still do it with a regular build, just trying to have a better weapon than maybe a standard dagger. If I do accidentally press B to make my selections, don't be surprised, it's just that I've been playing a lot of Japanese Sony games, well not Sony games, Japanese games on Sony systems, which use circle to select as opposed to cross. And I've also been playing Nintendo games. In other words, if you've got 4 buttons and there's one on the right side, they like to use the one on the right side to make their selections. It's always been that way for the Japanese. That's why the A button is select where it is on Nintendo consoles, is because that's just how they do it. Okay, so what are we doing now? We are grabbing those. We've got a few things to do before we make our way to the Undead Burg. And what I'm doing right now is just my standard protocol when I'm getting started with a build. I sort of work out what I want to do before I get to Undead Burg, just setting myself up for the rest of the game. And while I do usually end up being quite overpowered for the Undead Burg, you don't end up overpowered for too long. It's not about being overpowered for the Undead Burg, it's about just setting things up when you can. It saves you doing it in the future. And it's just cleaner, it's less to worry about in the future, so that's why I will be picking up one of 2 possible weapons that I could get at the start of a Dexterity build. You can always get both, but I'll be getting one. I've chosen to get the Great Scythe. I'm going to do a run into the Catacombs once I have leveled up with these souls that I have, because it would be smarter to use the souls in case for some weird reason I lose them in the Catacombs. It can happen, so it's better to avoid the tears that will no doubt follow if I do lose those souls. But yeah, I'll be doing a run into the Catacombs to get the Great Scythe, and I'm going to be using that at the start of the game, and I just need to ensure... What the fuck is going on? Why did my character just roll randomly? I did not press a button that would cause me to roll, I don't think. No, I didn't press a button that would cause me to roll. How the fuck did that happen? You guys know that that's not even possible. Because... what is the roll button? It's B, right? Yeah. Pressing B in the menu does not cause your character to roll, it causes the menu to go back, so unless I didn't roll, I don't fucking know what happened there. Anyway, let's get these off, I don't really need them. And, is there anything that I'd like to equip here? Probably not. I'll just... don't do that. Alright. I'm being spammed by a friend of mine on Discord. Hopefully he's not watching... hopefully he's not asking to... No, he's not asking to watch anime, fortunately. It would have been a real shame. Because I wouldn't want to have to say no, but... oh, what the fuck is going on? There must be an enemy nearby. Why? Where is the enemy? Did I piss off a skeleton and he's still nearby? I did, hello. Now... a lot of people who have trouble at the start of this game end up going towards the skeleton area, in other words, towards the catacombs. And they think that they are supposed to fight the skeletons, not realizing that actually that's not what you're expected to do, but they think it's normal because they heard from somewhere, or they were told that this is such a hard game, so they go and fight the skeletons and think, oh my god, this is so hard. They just keep trying and trying and trying. They're not even supposed to go that way. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not a good idea. Alright. So, as far as my stats that are required for the Great Scythe, it's something like 12 strength, 14 dex, something like that. But what I will do is I will actually confirm, because I don't have too many souls on hand at the moment, so I'd like to not be stabbing in the dark here. I'm gonna do a quick, sorry for bumping the boom stand there, and sorry about the creaky chair. I'm currently sitting on a $600 chair that creaks that much. Welcome to the world of ergonomic chairs. The money that you have to spend is disgusting. Alright, so Dark Souls Wiki, Great Scythe. Okay. Ew, the Fextra Life Wiki. Well, that was the top result, so I guess I'll select that. So it's 14 strength and 14 dexterity. I had 12 strength and 14 dexterity in my head. I do not play musical instruments, although I am a musical person. Okay, so 14 strength, 14 dexterity. Brilliant. We already have 14 dexterity because we started with the Wanderer, but we would have 15 if we started with the Thief anyway, so... Excuse me, what the fuck? Belching on camera, which is just lovely. So now I have some points that I can put into something else, and I only went down to accept because I actually meant to press left, but the D-pad decided that I instead meant to press down. Thank you. Thank you, terrible fucking D-pad. I really appreciate that. So I might go 13 vitality and put the rest in endurance. Would that be appropriate? Or should I put points? No, I'm going to save leveling up dexterity further for the next time I acquire souls. You know, my friend on Discord has spammed me with... He's sent about 45 messages so far. And that's just how he talks to me. There's no urgency here. I've talked about him before. I have a specific friend on Discord, or a particular friend on Discord, who likes to talk to me in DMs, and he types in short sentences, and consequently I'm just getting spammed to high heaven, and it's kind of annoying. But just as well I don't have... Actually, no, even if I had system volume being recorded on my PC right now, you wouldn't hear anything, because I've muted Discord for the reason that he spams me when he talks to me. Alright, so we're gonna go with this, and that should be good for using the Great Scythe, unless Fextra Life is actually lying to me, which I don't think it is. I have been lied to by Fextra Life before, but I think it would be unreasonable to expect that at this time. I will actually equip my Homeward Bones here, because I'm going to need them. Hopefully I can do this in the first attempt. You know, without dying, that is to say. But we'll see what happens. The Great Scythe is... remember when I said one of two weapons? The second one's the Katana, but that requires that you kill the male undead merchant. And I don't like the Katana as much as I like the Great Scythe, so guess what? I almost never get the Katana at the start of the game. So, I'll be getting the Great Scythe. Although the Great Scythe, in terms of difficulty, in acquiring it at the start of the game, much, much more difficult. Oh god. Auto wall recovery is kicking my ass right now. Absolutely. Because what it does is it pushes you in different directions, and it's fucking awful. It's actually fucking awful. So I'm just gonna let you do your magic. Thank you very much. And if I can bring some of the skeletons in here, that would be nice, but it seems that they are waiting at the door, which I don't like. Don't like that at all. Alright. So, where are we going from here? Okay. Just had to think about it. Stop with your... There's nothing worse than having that slow lead-up attack that really does throw me off a bit. Alright, so I might backstab this guy just to get him to settle down a little bit. I mean, if anything, it would piss him off more, but I will momentarily heal up. There's no reason to do this without healing up at all. That would be a stupid idea. Now, because of the way in which I play Souls games, I basically do the claw. If any of you are familiar with the claw from Monster Hunter games on the PSP, I basically do a claw, but on the opposite side. I use my my right index finger on the button that is used to run. In the case of this controller, that is the B button. And because I'm using the side of my index finger, and because this button is rounded, it's actually starting to hurt my finger. Like the pressure that I apply to the button with this finger is starting to hurt because the button is rounded. It's just, like, this whole thing is just not okay. I don't like this controller. I'm going to try and not talk about that over and over and over again, but you're going to have to forgive me in that it really is pissing me off. Now, what you have to do here is you have to go down to where the Necromancer is. Please do that before I'm hit by him. You have to go down here to the Necromancer, and this is where you usually die when you do this run. It's because you have to go back up to where the enemies are. Yeah, ooh. Let's see if I can survive this. No. So that's fine. If you really wanted to do a no-death attempt at this, the best thing to do is to Homeward Bone in this room. When you have to go back up into the enemies that you've just been running away from, in such a narrow pathway, or on such a narrow pathway, death is common. That happens to me often, but basically I had to go down there first to open the way to where the Great Scythe will be. And, you know, he's still spamming me, you know. He's still going. I mean, I guess we're at like 100 messages now. It's brilliant. Basically, in my peripheral vision, I'm just watching these notifications pop up on my laptop over and over and over again from Discord. It's just brilliant. But anyway. I wouldn't say that the range of the Katana in Dark Souls is significantly lower than that of Demon Souls. I don't think so. Maybe you're right, but I have never... Like, for instance, when I first used the Katana in this game after having started with Demon Souls, I wasn't saying, God, this thing has such short range compared to Demon Souls, but I don't know, you could be right. Okay. I need to turn off that fucking auto-wall recovery right now, at the expense, or rather at risk to me. Auto-wall recovery, there it is. Get off, now. Basically what it's doing is I'm just walking in a direction, and then my camera starts to move on its own, and then change my trajectory, and it's just awful. It's the worst thing in the world, and I don't want that. Can you not do that? I'd be very, very appreciative if you could be slightly more cooperative. You know, maybe letting him run's better. Yeah, letting him run's better. Can you fucking stop? Oh, I made the right decision by continuing to run to a hard left direction. Because I knew that he was going to follow me pretty aggressively with that casting maneuver. I don't know if you saw that, but I did make an attempt to roll there. You actual bastard. You actual bastard. Alright. So, all I need to do is go straight through here. This is the path that I had to open up by pushing that lever before. Or operating that mechanism, whatever you want to say. That bridge needs to be opened, I say. It needs to be turned, and I will be able to do that by talking to Patches. Oh, we just turned it now, okay. No, I'm not a cleric. Because he doesn't like clerics, but I think he might still try to turn the bridge. Now, this is a very annoying jump. I don't like this jump at all. I'm just going to see if he turns the bridge, because I want some time to set this up. Usually if you say no, even if you say no, he turns the fucking bridge. What's your problem, man? Does he not believe me? He thinks that I'm a cleric. I told him no, but he still thinks I am. Hello? Oh, did you? No, you didn't cause me any trouble. Oh, everything's quite fine, my friend. You have not caused me any trouble. Now, just let me push the fucking lever, otherwise you and I are going to have quite the disagreement. Alright. It's very nice of them to force my character to phase inside the body of Patch's body to actually turn that bridge again. Now, he shouldn't touch this thing now. He only does it once, so we should be good. Okay, it's time to do this jump. Now, I don't believe a regular roll is sufficient, so I'll try to do just a standard jump. See if we can do it. No, well, that's good enough, I guess. Good enough. It works. As long as it works, you know. I don't care about the method, as long as the result is good enough. Okay. Well, the result is black or white, really. It's either I fail or I succeed. And I did succeed, and that is indeed good enough. So, the Great Scythe is going to be quite a bit heavier as compared to this scimitar, although I think it's only 6 units of weight, so maybe it's not too bad. How many units of weight is it? It's 5, okay, less than I thought. So actually, it's not too bad at all. I think the scimitar is like 3 units? 1.5. Well, it is considerably heavier, but still. Yeah. The first thing that you'll notice in regards to the Great Scythe is the ridiculous range that it exhibits. It is a very long-range weapon type. That is your R2, that is your R1, or I guess I should be saying RB and RT, yeah, whatever. So, RB, RT, and I can tell you right now, this is a lovely weapon to use one-handed. It's also great in the two-hand, but I prefer to actually use the strong attack rather than the standard attack. The standard attack is this. Now, it looks very awkward and slow, but this is an example of a weapon type that, when you make contact with an enemy, your combo actually speeds up. In other words, the follow-up is faster if you hit something. If you fail to hit something, you can see that your character really can't get the next attack out quite as fast. So that's how they balance it out. Your strong attack, on the other hand, is this. This is lovely, and the range is crazy. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, the range is very, very good. And I can tell you that this worked wonders in multiplayer versus other people. And it was good for applying bleed and all of that business, especially with the Life Hunt Scythe, which had the same combo, but not quite as much range as the standard Great Scythe. Alright. Check this out. That is one of the cleanest run attacks in the series. It's very, very fast, and the range is crazy. It is so clean and so beautiful. How about that? Now, one funny thing to mention is that I didn't even equip the shield that I got, which is the Dragon Crest shield, but this shield is actually a little better in terms of stability. And stability is what's most important for me at this time. But you know what? That fire defense on the Dragon Crest shield is that much better than the Hollow Soldier shield that I think I will go with that. But anyway. The Hollow Soldier shield, as you can see, is something that you can get even from these Dreglings, but which I guess are called Hollow Soldiers in this game as opposed to Dreglings from Demon Souls, but I've always called these guys Dreglings because they're Dregling equivalents in the end. But it's a very rare drop. You do not get the Hollow Soldier shield very often because it's a very good shield. And they don't just want to give it to you. Oh, guess I was overestimating the range. Now, as silly as it is, yes, this weapon can be used to riposta and backstab and all that business. How you'd be able to thrust this into someone, I wouldn't want to imagine. I don't want to know if it's possible, but the point is that it looks really silly, so. As you can... Whoa! Okay, well apparently you guys are surviving with just a sliver of health. What the... Can you not randomly target that thing? Maybe that's a Dregling. That's probably a Dregling. No, that's a... That's just an undead or something. I don't know what the names are for Dark Souls. I wouldn't know. I won't do a Grim Reaper Dex build, no. Because that would require that I use the Gold Hemmed set. And I usually don't use the Gold Hemmed set for Dexterity builds. I think I did a Grim Reaper set once because I thought it was kind of cool, and then I never did it again because the Gold Hemmed set, unfortunately, cannot be upgraded. It's usually good when you pick it up, provided you get to Ceaseless Discharge, or you go to Ceaseless Discharge immediately after killing Quelaag. If you get to him and get the Gold Hem set at that time, it's a pretty good armor set, but for the end game, not really. Good fire defense, but oh, can we not do this right now? I did press Arctic. That was the most delayed attack I have ever seen in all my history of playing Dark Souls. I pressed RT, it failed, and then I shielded, and I can't even talk today, but I shielded after that. What I was meaning to say was I shielded it, but there wasn't really anything I was shielding that had already been discussed, but the point is that I attacked, it failed, I pulled up my shield, and then, like, a second or two after having raised my shield, the attack then caught up. Wow. Don't even know what to say to that. And that's correct. Autonomic, that is correct. Alright, fine. You've made your point. And that's the riposter animation, as you can see. It's ridiculous. Well, it's not ridiculous, it's just... How is that succeeding in impaling this guy? I wouldn't want to know. Anyway, I'll make my way down here, and I don't really need your orange science soapstone now that I think about it, do I? You know what, I won't even waste the... My finger hurts. I won't even waste the 200 souls to buy it. And you know what? I'll light the bonfire up here, but I won't rest at it. For the reason that I don't want those guys to respawn, and I'm sitting on 10 Estus Flasks at +1, which is more than enough to clear this location. So that'll be fine. Hello, guys. And then your friend as well. Sometimes you can get this guy caught in that attack as well. But he had to open the door this time, which makes him a little slower than other scenarios in which he will open the door. Alright. I think it's... whatever's in here is not all that good, but I may as well grab it. Oh, it's 5 black firebombs. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I take back what I just said. Because black firebombs are actually very damaging, and in fact, I usually use the firebombs that I've acquired for the Man Serpent in Sen's Fortress on the final axe bridge. I was kind of surprised to find that you did not jump into my range. Again, it happened again. The exact scenario. I press RT, the game fails to register the input, I shield because it failed, and then, like, in other words, like an overall delay of about 3 seconds for the attack to start. I did not press RT while shielding. It caught up to my previous attack. The only way that I can make sense of that is by saying that the Xbox 360 version is fucked. That's all I can say. I mean, it is the most glitchy of all the Dark Souls versions. Admittedly, I haven't played the Switch version, so maybe that's worse, I don't know, but I'm telling you now, I really do not appreciate that input delay. It's shocking. Come on, friend. I didn't actually mean to do RT, there you go. The controller is fine. It's the game input that's the problem. You have to understand that if the input is recognized then it's not the controller that's influencing it. This is what you need to understand. Because it can't, the controller is not going to just send the input in a delayed manner. It's the way the game receives it that dictates the timing. Which means that the issue here is the game, which means it's probably the fact that this is the Xbox 360 version. It would not make any sense for it to be an issue with the controller in this case. And I might do a nice wake up with you. Well, not wake up. Or like a chain strike? I don't know what you'd call that. Anyway. I had a stupid opening parry attempt before because I was distracted, but that's perfectly fine. So that's the blue tearstone ring. That's basically the dull rat's ring from Demon Souls. And I used to say that in the past and people would be like, what the fuck's he talking about? But now it's like, oh yeah, I know that ring. Oh, that failed. Maybe you can't do that in the Xbox 360 version. I don't know. Usually that works, but basically you saw it in the previous build. I don't need to talk about it again. But, yeah. Back when this game came out, no one had played fucking Demon Souls, which is weird because you'd think people would have, but no. A lot of people who played Dark Souls when it first came out were Xbox players, which meant that they never played the Demon Souls game, given that it was exclusive to PlayStation 3. How funny is that? No, the 360 version is really, really glitchy. Because I obviously started on the PlayStation 3 and then I eventually got it on 360, because I thought I may as well. And I was struck by how glitchy it was compared to what I was used to, because obviously I'd played the game so many times on PlayStation 3, so it was abundantly clear that the glitches were there. It wasn't just bad luck or something like that. I don't really want to fight him normally without the ability to fast roll. That's why I tried to unequip my shield there. Now, I don't know if going two-handed is going to increase the damage of my drop attack. I can only assume that it does. I'm going to test that out. Oh, my finger hurts by using this control. Come on, buddy. Alright. So the sooner you get to that ladder, the better, because he catches up to you. If you're actually too far from the ladder, it is problematic. Okay. Maybe I won't distance myself so greatly from the ladder. Let's see if I do less damage here. Yep, I dealt less damage, which means that I want to be two-handing each time I do that. Actually, I went too far. I wanted to go from about here. Come on. Now, because I'm nice and close to the ladder, I should be able to get up it before he can... Well, maybe this is not going to work. Let's find out. Oh no, I'll be fine. Because he did a swing low to the ground. This should kill him, I think? Oh no. I'll just do a final hit on him. Good night. I kind of wanted to do a crotch shot, but didn't quite work. That's alright. Crotch shot denied. I got his leg instead. A slightly more dignified way to die. Slightly more. In fact, maybe considerably more. It's not nice to die by getting struck in the groin. Not that I've experienced it, but I wouldn't want to. You know, I really don't need your white sign soapstone. Today is not a day of speaking. For me. But, anyway, yeah, give it to me and shut up. Ha ha ha. I agree, is it not the funniest thing in the world? Okay. So again, the initial fire breathing that takes place on the bridge is not going to be enough to really harm you terribly. So I should be fine. And we'll make our way down here. And now we can go and rest at that bonfire. Because I've been playing Dark Souls 2 somewhat recently, I'm in the habit of having to hold down on the analog stick to go down the ladder, which I found to be really stupid. Why add an extra process to sliding down a ladder? Whose idea was that? In fact, I don't think they even brought that back for Dark Souls 3. I think you just hold circle in Dark Souls 3 as well, so I've got no idea. Alright. So actually I can level up a bit more than this because I have some souls to consume, so let me go and do that now. Are they automatically equipped? Well, those are. If those are already equipped, then I may as well equip this one too. Alrighty. Yes, they have to be consumed individually. I'm not playing the remastered version. That was a quality of life change introduced in Dark Souls 2 for the first time. Alright. Now we can level up a little bit more. And I'd like to put points into Dexterity. But maybe not too many points. I'd like to get you to 15. Yeah, that's good. So 127 damage. Technically not the highest damage that you can have at this time in the game, or at this stage of the game. If I were to go and get the Drake Sword, I'd be sitting at 200, but I don't really feel a need to do that. I don't know when I'll get the Drake Sword for a playthrough. Not too sure when that will happen. I mean, honestly, I just generally don't need it. But it can be helpful sometimes. There are some builds that I do that work well with getting the Drake Sword at the start, but not this one. Get out of here. You're still alive, aren't you? Yes, you are. I know how you work. And your friend as well. Good night, sir. I know it's unpleasant to be impaled by a giant scythe, but you know. By the way, these fucking rats, they were causing trouble for me. At least a little bit. In the previous build, but not this time. This scythe knows exactly how to deal with them. I'm getting sick of the... You know what? There's another glitch. I don't know if you've seen this, but quite often the enemy health bars of enemies that are way out of my range are just appearing in the distance. That's the Xbox 360 version doing that. It happens very occasionally in the PS3 version, but it's happened several times in this instance here. So, again, it's just the Xbox 360 version being fucking glitchy. It's normal. Normal stuff. Look who's decided to follow me. You actual bastard, can you get the fuck out? You're jeopardizing my run with this guy. Please don't attack me. I was hoping that he would know to come up the stairs. Alright, come on. Oops, I've forgotten the timing for that. Apparently. Get up the stairs quickly, go in for the backstep if you can. Oh no, no, no. Again, that would have been perfectly fine. I would have continued to chain stab him until he was dead, but no, that fucking hollow soldier came out. What a dick. I don't know what pissed him off, but something did. Get over here. You coming down the stairs? I know you're coming down the stairs. Unless he wants to fall from the top. Sometimes he does that. Can you maybe get out of my range? Don't want to deal with you right now. Alright. Could probably do a chain attack. Well, I would have been able to had I remembered that I wasn't playing fucking Demon Souls. Why would you shield at that time? I mean, it's a good idea for you to do that, for your own survivability, but for my success in killing you, makes it a bit harder. Don't you fucking follow that up. You actual prick. What's your problem? I understand that your objective at this time is to actually waste my time. I've got no problem fighting you, my friend. It's just... I blame that hollow soldier. I really do. Well, the fact that Dark Souls is glitchy on the Xbox 360 does not necessarily outline a problem with the Xbox 360 itself. The point is that the game was not designed for Xbox 360. That's the reality of it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a port, but the fact that it's glitchy on the 360, even though the 360 is easier to develop for as compared to the PlayStation, means that it was for the most part designed for PlayStation, and then in trying to make a 360 version, they either didn't try hard enough, or there were problems that arose that they didn't want to iron out, etc, etc. In other words, it's not the fault of the console that this particular game doesn't work as well. So, now I don't like the Xbox 360 either, and I don't like Xbox or Microsoft or any of that, but this is not the fault of the Xbox, the fact that this game runs worse. Or has more issues, I should say. The netcode was better. Okay. Usually he doesn't start with that attack. You fucking dick. Can I heal and go for a chain stab? Oh, that's right. Look at this. I'm being sandwiched right now. Why did I forget about you? This is so stupid. Oh my god. What a stupid thing to happen. I forgot about that Holy Soldier. You know, I swear to God, he usually doesn't come up those stairs. Usually he's not alerted to my presence. He's really not. But today he is. I wouldn't blame the Xbox 360 version for that, but, you know. But yeah, there are two things throwing me off at the moment in terms of my play. The first is this controller, which just feels disgusting in my hands. And the second point is that I'm used to 60 FPS Souls. Once it goes down to 30 FPS, it's like... it's not nice. It doesn't feel right at all. Get over here. I said it wasn't a port. I expressly said that it wasn't a port. I stopped myself from suggesting that it was one. It wouldn't be appropriate to call it a port. I would say that it's a lazy attempt at developing the game for Xbox 360, but no, I wouldn't call this a port. Alright, so I'm gonna kill you now. Are you ready to die? You fucking asshole. Unbelievable. Take 3 on this Black Knight. I wouldn't bother fighting him if it wasn't so easy to kill him normally. Oh, why do you open with that attack? Like, what's your problem? You usually don't. Usually he does the big lead-up attack. Oh, I fucked that up. Get up there quickly. I'm tempted to heal, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just go for the chain stab again. Alright, let's heal up and then hopefully he won't do anything too stupid. I can kill him through his shield. Oh no, don't even have to. Get the fuck out, man. Wouldn't even give me his greatsword. Not that I was going to use it, but it would have been nice for him to at least give me that for all my trouble. Alright. My webcam view is a bit dark, isn't it? It's because I'm not really working with any natural light at all right now, so you'll have to forgive it. Alright, so again, the first time I enter the Undead Parish like this, well, it's not really the Undead Parish here, I don't think. It might technically be part of that area, I don't know, but yeah, I ensure that I get to this side before that guy can lower the gate and prevent me from being here. So, and I may as well keep it down, that's fine. Let's deal with the Boulder Knights once I've picked up this item. That's another decent weapon to use with a Dexterity build. It's not as good as the Great Scythe, but it's a good weapon. Actually, it's more of a quality build, isn't it? I tend to use this with Dexterity builds if I want something different to, like, a Urge Katana or Great Scythe run, but... Hello. Oh, I actually managed to mess up my timing with that. So there are 3 Boulder Knights here. The 2 side sword wielding ones are not an issue at all. It's the rapier wielding one that is most problematic. And it is the one that I have targeted right now. Can you get over here? I don't like this guy at all, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go two-handed and mash him. This should be fine. I was really hoping that he'd drop his guard in that time. Come on. There we go. Provided I can hit him with the first one, he'll get killed by the follow-up because he'll be stunned. That's basically what happened, and that's what I was hoping for. I can't believe you. I hope you're starting to see how versatile this weapon is. It really is impressive. I'm not going to fight him from this position, because if I go through this archway now... Actually, it's not an archway. It is an archway. Okay. Yeah, if we go through this archway, we're going to be seen by the channeler up there. And we don't want that, because he'll start shooting magic at us, and he'll probably empower that guy and all sorts of things. Who knows, but I really don't need that. Brilliant. I was a bit worried that I was going to bounce to the extent where the damage would not be dealt to the enemy, but fortunately that did not happen. Alright. I probably won't deal with that. I don't want to call him a Black Knight, because I realise that he's a knight with black armour, but he's not actually a Black Knight, which is confusing, but... They do have names, I've just forgotten them. Gotta love the running attacks of the Great Scythe. Let's take ourselves over to... Andre of Astora. Well, not really, Andre. More like to the bonfire. I'm not going to say anything to Andre right now. I have nothing to say to him, quite frankly. I have some Titanite chunks, but I can't really make use of those, so... Yeah. I'll upgrade this Great Scythe when it's appropriate to do so, but for now... I will save my souls. I will SOS for the Crest of Artoria so that I may grind some souls in the soul farming area for the early game, as I did in the previous build. It is something that I generally do. It is typical protocol for me when doing a run through the game. We will indeed use a gold pine resin against the upcoming boss to ensure that we're dealing lots of damage to him. So it should be a quick run, in other words. We do have that knight to contend with over here. We're going to kill him, then go to Firelink Shrine, turn in the Firekeeper Soul that we've got just over there. And then at that point, we will be able to take on the boss. I'm a bit worried about my stamina here, if you're noticing. I'm not really able to keep up with my stamina consumption here. Oh, come on, the timing was fine for that. Come over here, man. But don't. You don't really have to parry him, it's easier. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. You'd think that'd be fairly effective. It's almost as if the attack here can stick the blade right in his fucking face. Which is quite graphic, but getting the Great Axe from him is actually quite rare. But, yeah, it would be the case, wouldn't it, that when I'm not doing a strength build, I get the Great Axe from him. Yep. That is exactly in keeping with Doom Link's typical luck. And not just my luck, but basically most people's luck. How many katanas are in the game? There are indeed more. You've got the, well, I may as well list them all off the top of my head. You've got the Utakatana, the Iaito, you've got the Chaos Blade, and you've got the Washing Pole. The Chaos Blade is the outlier, the one apart from the rest, because it is a boss soul weapon. I would not really recommend making the Chaos Blade at any time, because to make the Chaos Blade you're basically saying, well, I don't want to make Quelaag's Fury Sword. They're very similar to one another, but one's just better. I find Quelaag's Fury Sword to be the better dexterity weapon. Now, you could technically say, I don't like the fact that Quelaag's Fury Sword deals fire damage. Well, if you don't, then maybe the Chaos Blade is for you. I don't know. But they operate in the same way in that the damage that they deal scales off the humanity in your counter, and they both scale with dexterity, so... yeah, generally I would say that they are going to achieve the same thing. They are used for the same purpose, so it's usually one over the other, as opposed to using both. Although you could use both if you were doing New Game Plus and wanted some variety, but I just wouldn't bother personally. It's not something that I'd do. I can't speak to the Chaos Blade in Dark Souls 2 because I don't think I ever bothered using it. Oh no, I actually did use it, excuse me. I used it a little bit. The range of the Chaos Blade was much longer in Dark Souls 2 as opposed to Dark Souls 1. Much longer. And the way the Chaos Blade worked, I believe, in Dark Souls 2 was actually the same way that the Hiltless worked in Demon Souls. The idea being that each time you hit the enemy, you actually lost health. Which is weird, I don't know why they reimagined the Chaos Blade into the Hiltless and then just called it the Chaos Blade. It was very odd, but... anyway. See, the thing is about the Hiltless that there was a functional reason related to its design that you would lose health. You didn't have a hilt. Do you know what that means? You were literally holding the blade in your hand. So yeah, it fucking hurt when you swung it. It didn't have a hilt. It was just cloth wrapped around the blade. So I guess you were cutting your hand or something? I guess that's how it was, but... yeah, there was a reason for it, in other words. And the name Chaos Blade is supposed to relate to the chaos functionality of the weapon, at least in the case of the original Dark Souls. If it's chaos, it scales off one's humanity. But there is no such system in Dark Souls 2. So, I don't really get it. I don't get why they just... No. It's all well and good to kill all of those guys, but I need to be able to kill you as well. I didn't really want to do the strong attack there, that wasn't quite what I was looking for, although the damage dealt is quite significant. Jeez. Get out of here. Of course, he powers himself up as well, so you don't want to be taking any hits from him. His trident can basically two-shot you at this stage, if he hits you while powered up. I can't really remember the invisible blade. That one I don't recall. I mean, I vaguely do, but I don't think I really used it. You might be confused, or you might be confusing the hidden blade pyromancy. It's a pyromancy that actually turns whatever weapon that you have invisible, which is kind of cool. I thought that was kind of fun. I got a little bit of use out of it. It first appeared in the DLC of the first Dark Souls, I believe. Or, no, maybe it was something that you could acquire before the DLC came by buying it from Dusk of Ulasil. Yeah, maybe it wasn't from the DLC after all. I apologise for the low frequency hum. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's probably my Xbox 360 loading the bloody disc. Oh no, it is actually a vehicle in my street. Okay, let's go and equip the gold pine resin I was talking about. which can only be acquired, I believe, if you have the Master Key, which I do. Okay, let's go two-handed. I generally don't like rolling like this when I'm medium rolling, but you know. Even after all that rolling, here I am, fucking having to deal with more attacks from him. See, I didn't want this because now the game is suffering. Okay, good on you, mate. Why are you still alive? I don't think that's an unfair question to ask. Why are you still alive? Just as I'm about to hit him as well. Just as I'm about to fucking hit him. I mean, seriously, man. Nothing about you guys is challenging to me. I've fought you many times before. I just need you to at least kind of cooperate, if you wouldn't mind. I'm about to lose my gold pine resin effect. Hopefully I can kill him before I lose it. There we go. It's not going to last much longer, you watch. Yeah, it just stopped. Now, I admit this is not going to be great for fashion, but it's good for defense, so I'll equip that helm. I'm going to actually sink points into... Geez, I don't have many souls at all. I'm going to have to take some time to acquire more souls. I know I'm in the way of the soul counter. I have 15,000, so... Now 16,000, so... I have to try and get another 4,000 more, so that I can get the Crest of Artorias. Yes, well, you don't need to tell me that the invisible blade doesn't exist in this game. But what I am telling you is that there is a pyromancy in this game that... maybe it wasn't a pyromancy, maybe it was a spell, but... Yeah, basically, it turned any weapon invisible. It wasn't like a special weapon, but you could be remembering correctly in that there is an invisible blade in Dark Souls 2. I think there is one. I think you acquire it in the gutter, don't you? I think so. I think so. Unless I'm remembering something else, I don't know. There's Oswald of Karim, may as well learn his gesture. It's so gross to have such a clicky, loud D-pad. Really. It's just fucking awful. Alright, I'll have to take some time to gather more souls. So patience is requested on the part of my dear audience. Should be... no, I won't drop down in front of the Boulder Knights, because I will have lost health at that point, and... yeah, there's no need for it. There's no need for it. I'll just draw them into my range and then deal with them as needed. Like so. You motherfucker. That's not how I wanted that to go. Not even remotely is that how I wanted that to go. He attempted to parry what I just did, but he can't because I was too far away, and I don't believe that's the kind of attack that he can parry at all. See how... I mean, now you're starting to understand what I mean when I say that the rapier guy is generally more problematic. What the fuck? I do feel like I need much, much better maneuverability than this. I feel very heavy, given the type of build this is. Now, I'm weighing myself down with this helmet, I realise this, but seriously. I need to increase my endurance, that's the biggest issue here. It's not about what I have equipped, it's it's about the fact that I need more endurance. Alright. So, we're going to do our soul farming. It's not very impressive soul farming, but it's soul farming nonetheless, in this location. So, yeah. As I said, a bit of patience is going to be needed on your side, while I try to get myself to 2,000. Excuse me, 20,000, not 2,000. I think I've reached that point already. I think so. My Xbox 360, in loading the disc, is actually rattling around. Like, the disc is rattling around. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. Like, that's what's happening, so... Okay, I get it, you're an asshole. I very much understand. I don't know what that hollow soldier dropped. I would guess that it's a crossbow. Nope, it's his armor. Which is also good. Okay. Boulder Knights again, come on. Interestingly, the pews have not, I guess, been repaired by the fact that I've rested at the bonfire. I think the only way that it will be repaired is if you quit the game and reload it. There we go. Sort of stood on the spot looking around for a moment there. He was rather confused as to what to do in that moment. I don't think it's very complicated. I think it would involve attacking me or something, given that I'm a threat. Getting a lot of Titanite shards though. I guess technically I have a boost to my item discovery. It's not much of a boost, but it's enough. Of course it comes from the humanity in my counter. But, yeah, I would say that that would be part of the reason as to why I'm getting so many Titanite shards, and it's good. I can purchase them as well, but it saves me using the souls to purchase them if I'm getting them while grinding souls, of course. But yeah, you don't always get the Gargoyle's helmet from that fight. You will be guaranteed to receive it at some point in the future. When you kill the final Gargoyle in Anor Londo, you will acquire everything that you haven't yet picked up from the Gargoyles, all in that moment. Which I believe can include the Gargoyle helm, the shield, and the halberd. It does not include the tail axe because that is exclusive to cutting the tail. The tail axe isn't all that good anyway. The halberd is much better than the tail axe. As much as I like the tail axe, and as much as I like to use it just to use a weapon that I never seem to use, just for the sake of variety, I have to say the halberd is a lot better. Gargoyle's halberd is one of my favourite weapons actually, so... Haven't used it in a while, I will admit, but... Really getting sick of this guy fucking healing himself. I have to tell you. It's downright rude. Where is your honor? And your friend too. Currently on 18,000. Maybe 3 or 4 more runs to go. We'll see what happens. Usually I don't have to spend this much time killing these enemies to get more souls. I guess I've killed less enemies this time around as compared to last time I was playing, and also compared with my usual circumstance. Usually I only have to do like 2 runs of this after killing the gargoyles. Whatever. Whatever. As far as how long I will record for, I wouldn't imagine that I'll go for much longer than 2 hours. I'll probably get to Quelaag or something like that. I think I can get to Quelaag in the next 30 minutes, or 25 minutes, more like. And at that point, I'll probably be able to finish up. But then again, there'll be a temptation to do Ceaseless Discharge. I can probably do that, it's not going to be a big deal. Unless I want to first go to Lower Undeadburg. Maybe I would rather do that. I think I'd rather go to Lower Undeadburg first. Yeah, so I'm not going to hold my breath on Quelaag. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to set any goals for myself or any expectations. I'm just going to see what we can do. But yes, indeed, we will make our way to Lower Undeadburg once we have acquired some souls. In fact, I hadn't even factored in the time that it will take for me to get some souls from that soul farming area, so yeah, don't expect much more than Lower Undeadburg, now that I think about it. In other words, the Capra Demon. to refer to the boss by name. I think you can beat the game in the next 30 minutes. Well, I don't think so. Somehow I don't think so. But you never know, I could find a new game-breaking glitch. And then all the speedrunners, I'll give it a name and then all the speedrunners have to reference me. It'll be called the Doom Link, you know. And then all the top speedrunners are going to be like, I'm going to try the Doom Link today, guys. Yeah. That'd be a crap name anyway, wouldn't it? I mean, no, maybe it would work. You know, maybe it would sound like... No, that actually sounds like a move, doesn't it? The Doom Link. But, I don't know. It's both fitting and stupid at the same time. Can you go away? I know that you're there. You probably think that you're getting the jump on me, but you're really not. You're really not. This should be the last run, guys. I'm thinking this will be the last one. Come on, mate. I just don't want to contend with the rapier guy at the same time. Well, this is great. This is the first time that I can actually deal with them one at a time. I don't know what's different this time as compared to last time, but whatever. As you can see, the follow-up is just lovely. What's also just lovely is the number of Titanite shards that I'm picking up here. I know you're going to heal, I know exactly how you operate. So you're going to die before you can even do so much as that. You bastard. Okay, yeah. I was wrong about needing only one more round. Actually, I was wrong until I decided that I'd go and kill another Boulder Knight. So let's go kill this Boulder Knight and get ourselves the 20,000. The Dink run. No, I don't think so. The Dink. I'm gonna do the Dink. I think they'd be opposed to saying the word Dink. Unless they really had to. Dink is just insulting. I don't mind being called Dink, you know, it's affectionate. But I wouldn't want to call a run Dink. I wouldn't want to have to say, I'm doing the Dink run, you know. That would be rather weird. Alright, so this time we're not going to be making our way back up. We are instead going to be continuing further down. In fact, I'm an idiot. I should have... That's the reason why I don't usually do that. It's because usually I contribute to the soul count by killing the fucking Prowling Demon. God, I'm dumb. Alright, so let's go and purchase the Crest of Artorias. Don't get yourself killed. I'll try not to. Yeah, I usually killed this guy, and I can't remember how many souls he gives me. I'm gonna guess about 3,000. If it was 4,000, then God, that's really gonna suck. Going two-handed here, you can see it's much faster to do that attack if you're actually making contact with the enemy. See, I don't have the stamina for that shit. Well, let's go one-handed. Do the strong attack here. Although that completely destroys my stamina. Speaking of destroying my stamina, why did I do that? It's a terrible idea. You don't want to go from this side because you get hit by the tail. I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. I don't need to get closer to him. I'm standing on top of him. This, on the other hand... Oh. If you ever wanted to know how long that attack lasts for, now you know. A long-ass fucking time is how long that lasts for. Yeah, do your jump. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew that was going to happen. I'm being too aggressive. He's too strong. I need to play more conservatively than that. No, I don't think I'll be doing another build on the 360 after this. Because I was kind of hoping that the 360 would perform better than the PS3. but it's not. So I'll just do one run on the PS3, one on the 360, and then I'll do the rest on PC. Which might mean that the series will be on hold for a little while, we'll see. I'm not too sure. But I'm not too impressed with the performance. I don't know what it means when my light's doing this. Do you know what that... No. Rather than seeing that on my television, I was... Oh, look. It fixed itself. Okay, whatever. It's like the controller's thinking or something, I don't know. Controller is thinking. It's like the old days of computers. Remember the old hourglass on the cursor? God. Hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, it's been a while since I saw that. Computer is thinking. Computers have gotten so smart now, haven't they? Oh shit. You know, maybe the hourglass on the cursor still exists. It's possible. Maybe it's always been there and I just haven't taken notice of it. But anyway. Trying to get away from this tail. I think I used gold pine resin on this guy once, and I realised that it was a dumb idea. It might have been in the previous build. I feel like I tried it on camera, but you have to understand that I did a number of recording attempts for this livestream series that probably means that I could have very well done that off camera. I say off camera because, again, you're not going to see those recordings. There's nothing really wrong with the recordings on a commentary level, it's just they looked bad because I did not have enough natural lighting for those. I mean, the lighting's pretty bad for this recording, yeah, but it's not as bad as that. So, I mean, you can see me quite clearly. I do not like running out of stamina like this. You can see that I'm trying to deal with the stamina loss by dropping my shield when I don't immediately need it. But that can only help you so much. My Xbox is constantly loading this disc. I don't know what there is to load, but whatever. Are the movements of the fucking prowling demon being loaded off the disc in real time? Oh, fuck me. Technically, the entire thing's being read off the disc in real time, but the point is that you know what I mean when I say that. So that was 2,000 souls, not even 3,000, but it would have saved time? I guess it would have saved time, because I was going to kill him anyway, wasn't I? So, yeah, it would have saved time. Stupid Doomlink. Oh, I forgot about him. What can I say? He doesn't leave that much of an impact on me, clearly. I went to pick that up before it even dropped, because I knew it was going to drop. No, I just knew it. If I end up dropping you down, I really am not going to care too much, but you know what? I would rather that you stay, because your purple moss clumps are going to be quite useful for Blighttown. Quite useful. No, I don't think the rechargeable battery needs charging. It probably just doesn't like the fucking rechargeable battery pack, but you know what? It's working fine for the moment, so I think we'll be fine. I would imagine that the charge is probably weak compared to standard batteries, but it's working just fine. But yeah, I'll probably charge it after this recording. Does it tell me what the charge of the controller is here? Yeah, it does. So it's at half charge. Which is fine. It's not that great, but... I mean, you think... I was wondering if 4,800 milliamp hours would be quite significant for a controller, but maybe not. Maybe if it's got rumble and all that business, maybe it's not going to last all that much time at all, but... not a big deal, because, hey, I don't have to waste batteries for it, so... I mean, batteries are expensive. Batteries have always been expensive and continue to be expensive, so... yeah. What that means is that I would rather just charge the damn thing. Yeah. Yeah, Bob. I know all about it. I know about... look, you know... There's a day almost never goes by where you don't turn on that circular saw, really. I think you've got some sort of disturbing compulsion that can only be sated by therapy. Well, not sated. You don't sate something with therapy. It's like saying that you've sated your drug habit by going to like a drug specialist. Well, you know what I mean. Not a drug therapist. What do you call that? I guess you go to addiction therapy? I don't fucking know what they call it. I've forgotten it now. Sating an addiction is to indulge in that which you are addicted by. Alright, come on. Get down there. Go on. Down you go. And that's 11,000 souls. Just like that. Just like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this rechargeable battery pack. I was a bit worried that it wouldn't click in properly. It's very cheaply manufactured. It's not quite as clean as an official attachment to the controller, but you know what? It's working, and that's what's important. And it was very cheap, I will admit. Of course, it's cheap to manufacture if the thing costs like less than $5, so yeah. That's not a big surprise. Have to be bought. Alright. Have to be in position to deal with these guys. Don't fuck with me, man. That guy can often just stand there and cast his magic at you, and it's very annoying. No, I will definitely not miss the sound of Bob's power tools. Definitely not. I really don't need to hear that. So I'll probably get myself to 20,000 souls and then level up with those, and then I'll maybe get to 20,000 again and level up with those souls. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking that's probably how I'll do this. Oh dear. Part of this run is to avoid getting hit by the magic of this spellcaster. Or magician, whatever you want to call it. Because it really, really hurts to get hit by that at this point in the game. Gargoyle helm or not? What's going on? Come on. I don't think he can hit me from there. He realised that that wasn't going to work, so he just killed himself. Which is an appropriate way to approach that situation. At least I would say so. Alright. We're sitting on 21,523 souls. Let's go and level up. We are going to put points into endurance, because I want a fast roll. I will not be doing the ninja flip in this build, or with this build. But, you know, I could get... Is it worth getting Havel's Ring? I could go and get it. Can I access Havel's area from where I am? I think so, yeah. I think I can use the master key and access it. Will I get it yet? Probably not. I'll get endurance to 20. And then leave it alone, and then just let Havel's Ring give me the fast roll. That's how we're gonna do it. That's very nice of you to pursue me in this way. Now, sometimes he can get stuck in the vines. There is a specific place where he can get stuck between a vine and a tree, and it's really annoying. But I don't think that's the one. No, that's not the one. Flip a coin, no. I am decisive enough to not need that. Here they come. But yeah, even though the game performance is worse... Oh, shit. Oh, this is so annoying. I think... Oh, now I'm really pissed. Now I'm really pissed. I'm about to show you guys something. See that? This game has had the switch crop going this whole fucking time. Oh, that's so annoying. I mean, it's not something you would have noticed until I just got rid of it, but... There was absolutely no reason for it to be cropped in the way that it was, and, you know, it's because the Switch is a different aspect ratio to, like, everything else, because it's the Switch, so, you know, it's really special and all that, so, whatever, yeah, fucking annoying. What I was going to say before I got distracted by that was, at least this is going to look better than the last build, because this is on, or this is being recorded through an HDMI signal, as opposed to component 720, and I think it's 720p, yeah, as opposed to interlaced. I don't think it's interlaced. I hope it's not. That'd be pretty bad. I think it's at least progressive. Might not be noticeable for you, Autonomic, but it pisses me off. Alright. Come on, I know what's going on with you. Where are you? I can't even see you. He, like, gave up. I can't hit him, so I'm going to walk away. Okay. Basically what happened there was I got stuck in a stun lock. It's such a waste of time when that happens. And by that I mean dying. I'm not a fan of these things when they happen. But patience is the only way to deal with it. Alright. Pick up my souls, and try again. Fun. I realise that this is probably not incredibly exciting. I will readily admit that. But it's not forever. It's just so that I can level up a bit. That's all I'm doing here. You can see that I've got a bit more stamina now that I've increased my endurance in the way that I have. Oh, remember when I was talking about how he gets stuck between vines? Fortunately, that assassin just killed himself. But yeah, he's getting stuck between the tree and the vines. I have to go and rescue him, basically. I have to rescue him so that he can go and die. Okay. Let's go, buddy. You just change your position, and it sort of re-rolls his AI, in a way. That's the best way for me to describe it. Oftentimes it can result in the same action on the part of the AI. But what I mean to say is that it invites potential for him to stop being an idiot. Alright. Now, don't slow down when you've got that assassin running behind you, because he is trying to backstab you. When he's running after you, he's not trying to catch up so he can swing his dagger at you. He wants to stick that in you, right? By way of a bona fide backstab. Where did the assassin go? Are you seeing him? He's running around back and forth and swinging his dagger around. Just when I was talking about that not being his objective. Okay. Well, I see what's happened here. And I know how to deal with that. Come on. As you can see, this is sometimes quite useful and then other times not so useful. This particular soul farming strategy. There you go. No. Off you go. Looked like I pushed him there, but what happened was I walked up to him and then he did a backdash off the edge. I didn't push him off the edge. That was something that he did of his own volition. He has not been physically thrown from safe ground. Yeah, that's how it is, autonomic. Just as well I can be entertaining on my own. Well, assuming people are entertained, but that's the Let's Player in me, which will never go away. I commentate for the benefit of the VOD audience. First and foremost. And then if there are people to talk with while live, then that's always nice, but I don't require it. Come on! Look at him trying to... Okay, what I need to do is walk forward. There you go. Now, I don't know if the assassin can... I think he did come, yeah. Sometimes the assassin kills himself and you don't even notice because he's partially invisible. But yeah, he's fucking dead. Alright. As far as... No, I won't increase vitality again. I'll take dexterity to 20. That's good. What I think I'll do... I'm going to set myself 2 tasks before finishing this livestream. What I'm going to do first... No, 3 tasks, actually. First... Actually, what's the best order to do this in? I think the best order is to first get the Wolf's Ring, or the Wolf Ring as it's correctly called. We're going to start off by getting the Wolf Ring, then we're going to get Havel's Ring, then we'll kill the Moonlight Butterfly. And then we're going to end the video. Those are our tasks at this time. I believe the way forward is down, not up. I hope. Am I right about that? Yes, I am. I'm quite right about that. Except I've gone the wrong way to get to where I want to go, but I am correct about this being where I want to go, yes. And it is best to... Well, no, actually, I don't need Homeward Bone because this will take me back to where I just dropped off. Go away. I don't care about you. So that's the Wolf Ring. That's used for poise. Of which we don't have much. We're sitting on 8 poise right now. This will take us to 48. Go away, tree people. Do not bestir yourself on my account. For your death is guaranteed anyway, you see. You had best prostrate yourself before me. Not that it will change the result. Alright, so what I will do is now make my way to Havel. Interestingly, Havel can be reached quite quickly from the Undead Burg, because the Undead Burg links to the Darkroot Forest. I'm currently in the Darkroot Garden. The Darkroot Forest is... excuse me. The Darkroot Basin links to the Undead Burg. The Darkroot Basin is down there. The Darkroot Forest is where I was just grinding souls. And I'm currently in the Darkroot Garden. Ugh. Get your names right, Doomling, please. So, we are now going down to the Darkroot Basin, and from there, we will be able to fight Havel. It's going to be very awkward if I fail, by the way. Because I will have to traverse quite a distance to get back to Havel. Whereas if I were to go from an Undead Burg bonfire... Oh, you've got to be joking. Fuck. Oh well. I didn't need that crystal lizard anyway. I didn't need that crystal lizard. I just wanted it desperately. Alright. So, yes, what I was saying was that it would be much faster to get back to the fight if I were to fail while resting at the Undead bonfire, but given the bonfire that I last rested at was the Darkroot Garden bonfire, you better believe I'll have to travel quite a distance to get back to the fight. In fact, you know very well how far I will have to go, because you're witnessing it right now. There's the master key, and Havel will be in here. Ooh! That took me by surprise, my friend. Whoa! So, fortunately, I have enough stamina to successfully block his attacks, which really does actually fill me with confidence to successfully kill this guy on the first attempt. Absolutely. Without a doubt. That's great. That's really good. Now, he's got good range as well. Not quite as good as my range, but still pretty good. Now, what I usually do out of habit, when I'm circling around this guy, I do it with all enemies. When I'm circling around an enemy, I hold my shield up. But the reality is that if you're fighting him at the start of the game, whether you're shielding or not, and irrespective of what shield you're using, if he successfully hits your shield, he's going to hit actually through that shield and kill you in one hit. So, yeah, that's why I was happy to see that I was able to successfully shield his attack, because it means that I can hold my shield up and actually be guaranteed that I will survive. I'll be reassured of that fact. Which is a good thing, for sure. Everything is learnt the hard way in Souls. It is a game that rewards failure, in the sense that you... oh god. In the sense that you learn best when you fail. That's what I mean by rewards failure. I mean everything rewards failure, doesn't it? Because failure is a learning experience. His back is against the wall, so I can't very well go in there for a chain backstab if he's up against a wall, obviously. I tried to just get him on the edge of my range there. And again, I'm well and truly overestimating my range. Notice that it's basically fucking dark outside, but Bob is still hammering away, because he is Bob the Builder. He's not Bob the I'm not building today, he's Bob the Builder. And he's an absolute dick, so there you go. And that's Havel's ring. Give it to me. Alright. And those are our 2 rings, at least for now. You can see that we are now able to fast roll. And that's task number 2 of 3 for us to complete before finishing this this recording. I could always kill the Hydra, which might be a good idea. No, I won't do it. I haven't actually upgraded this great scythe, so I'm not going to do that. I don't really have a reason to. Yeah, I have all the Dark Souls games on PC. That's where I play them mostly. Alright. Now, actually no. I'm glad that I remembered this. Before I make my way to the Moonlight Butterfly, I will offer humanity to the bonfire and restore my humanity. As far as recording Dark Souls 3 for the channel, it is on the agenda, but it will not happen for several years yet. I started off with Demon Souls. I'm still doing Demon Souls every now and again. I started with Dark Souls 1 year after starting Demon Souls on the channel. And I am probably not going to touch Dark Souls 3 until I've started recording Dark Souls 2 for the channel. And I'm not going to start recording Dark Souls 2 for the channel until I've recorded a lot of both Demon Souls and Dark Souls. So, yeah, don't expect Dark Souls 3 anytime soon, basically. That would be my recommendation to you. Okay, now it's time to absolutely mash him, because we are currently under the effects of Tranquil Walk of Peace, which is terrible. Tranquil Walk of Peace prevents you from moving quickly. You can't roll, you can't walk at your normal pace if you're too close to the enemy once they have cast Tranquil Walk of Peace. Or once they've casted. Okay, let's go, Witch Beatrice. There you are. So I can't actually do anything to the Moonlight Butterfly for a while. Come on, Beatrice. Get fucking... Your target is behind you, please. So yeah. We can't do anything to the Moonlight Butterfly right now. We have to wait for it to come down and present itself to us for us to be able to hit it, because we do not have ranged capabilities. But you can see that Witch Beatrice is doing a shitload of damage to it. So really it's quite fine. So this is the situation, or this is the opportunity that I was talking about, that will allow us to hit the Moonlight Butterfly, but it should be fine. What I mean by that, I'm referring to something in my mind. I was talking about this here. That's an attack that I don't want to get hit by. I was going to say it should be fine because it should die before it gets a chance to do that, but it didn't. So, there you go. Come on, Beatrice. Aim yourself over there, please. In fact, I forgot that I had higher mobility. That was the reason why I got Havel's Ring before fighting the Moonlight Butterfly, so that I could make use of my newfound high mobility to avoid the attacks of the Moonlight Butterfly. And here I am, sitting behind my shield, which doesn't have much magic defense. Wow. That's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb. Anyway. This is an example where we are actually given a Homeward Bone, and I will use that. Most certainly. Most certainly. I don't know how long my chroma key has been fucked for, but no one ever tells me when it's fucked, so... Could have been fucked for the whole stream and I wouldn't even know. Shut up, Bob. Fucking hell. Seriously. Yeah, I know. It's dark outside, dickhead. Go and fucking do something with your life. I don't know. God. I don't ask for much. Just a lack of incessant hammering would be nice. I'd very much appreciate that. Alright. There we go. At this time, I'm making my way to Andre of Astora, so that I may make use of the Titanite charms that I acquired from the Boulder Knights before. I won't have to buy too many. I might have to buy some, we'll see. No, 8 is about what I need to get to +5. I think that's exactly what I need. If it's not 8, then it's 9. Can't quite remember. I think it's 8. And if I'm correct about that, it means that I'll only require the souls needed to make the upgrade. I won't have to purchase any Titanite shards, which means that I'll be able to level up a little bit after this, which is good. He sounds like he's in the room with me. Well, if he was, I'd have my hands around his neck by now. No, he'd probably pummel me. He's much larger than I am. But still. Fuck that guy. Alright, so let's go and... No, not forge. We want to reinforce weapon. Oh, I did go to reinforced weapon, but then I read at the top forge weapons and I'm thinking, Well, anyway, that confused me, so... Let's do this. We've got plenty of souls to do this, it's only 200 per upgrade. Shut up. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, you do that cutting. So it is 9 after all. It is 9 after all. Stop that. You just went to purchase. You don't need to purchase anymore. You've done your purchasing, Doomling. Alright. That is a +5 Great Scythe. Sitting at 207 damage. We are now doing more damage than what the Drake Sword has. And we've got much better range and all that business. So, yeah, we are well organised at this time. This is a good time to stop as well. We have gotten a lot done, for sure. How can I tell if my chroma key's messed up? Basically, it'll look as if there's static behind me. You'll be able to see the part of the video where, like, my webcam is in relation to the game, which means to say there'll be like a... It'll be like a square, like that, of static. And, I say static because that's what it looks like. And it's basically the green screen not properly working. And that's caused by low lighting conditions. And, yeah. It's fairly visible, but no one ever mentions it. So it falls on me to keep myself updated on that. Anyway, I do thank you all for watching. We have gotten quite a lot done. We got Estus Flasks up to +2. We got our Great Scythe to +5. We have killed 2 bosses, not including the Asylum Demon. And in the next video we will move on to the Capra Demon, Quelaag, Ceaseless Discharge, and likely all through Analondo and all that. So Sen's Fortress with the, what's it called again? The Giant Golem, I think it's called. And then, you know, no promises that I'll kill Ornstein and Smo, but I think I'll make my way through at least a little bit of Analondo in the next recording. We'll see, I've got no idea how long I'll record next time, but I wouldn't expect a recording tomorrow. I'd expect one the day after, or the day after that. We'll see. Will it be Dark Souls next time? Probably, because I need a little bit of a break from Monster Hunter. Not a long break, don't freak out. But I will have a little bit of a break. Let's see how many viewers I have. 4. Cheers to you. Bye-bye.